Okay, so today we'll be revising the topics domain and range. So I'll make two videos, one for domain and the second for range. The prerequisite for this video is going to be first revise the class notes, then practice the class questions, then revise the shortcuts we discussed in class. Let's begin with some questions. Okay, so as you can see, we have to find the domain of this expression. If I have to find the domain of this expression, we all remember that denominator should be non-zero. This thing in the denominator, this should be non-zero. So it implies x square minus 5x plus 6 should be not equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic expression, so it will have two factors not equal to 0. The product of the two numbers has to be 6. So I'm going to write 2 over here, 3 over here, and minus and minus. So I'm going to get x is not equal to 2 comma 3. So I can say that x belongs to all real values except 2 comma 3. So the domain of the expression is all real values except 2 and 3. Now the next question, we have to find the domain of this expression. As we know, under root can only be calculated for positive values. I cannot put negative inside under root. So this expression has to be positive. 4 minus x square, this has to be positive. That means 4 minus x square should be greater than equal to 0. Now, writing it in standard form, I have to bring x square before 4. So I will multiply with minus 1. This becomes x square minus 4 less than equal to 0. Now, x square minus 4, the formula is a square minus b square. It can be written as x plus 2, x minus 2 less than equal to 0. Now, to solve this inequality, we know we have to plot the roots on the number line. First root is minus 2, another root is plus 2. This is positive, negative, positive. Less than equal to 0 is for negative. So for the negative region, the answer is going to be minus 2, say 2. And since there is equality, so because of equality, we are going to put closed intervals. So the answer is going to be minus 2, say 2. Let's discuss another question. We have to find the domain of this expression. So now we know that under root is only true for positive values and denominator should not be 0. Now I am having 1 upon under root in the denominator. Under root has to be greater than equal to 0, but denominator should not be 0. Combining these two, I'll get it should be greater than 0. So the expression becomes x square minus 9 should be greater than 0. It has to be positive because of under root and it cannot be 0 because of denominator. Now I'll break it into two factors, x plus 3 and x minus 3 greater than 0. Plotting the two roots, minus 3 and 3, positive, negative, positive. Greater than 0 means either less than minus 3 or greater than 3. So x will belong from minus infinity to minus 3, union 3 to infinity. On infinities, we will always put open brackets because infinity is not a number, it's a concept of a very large number. So we only put open brackets for infinities. Now there is no equality over here. So 3 is going to have open bracket because there is no equality. We won't put closed interval, we'll put open intervals, and this is our answer. Okay, now let's solve for this. We have to find the domain of this expression. Under root is only true for positive values. So this has to be greater than 0. X square minus 5x plus 6 greater than equal to 0. Breaking it into two factors, x and x greater than equal to 0. The numbers are 2 and 3 with the negative signs. Now, plotting the two roots, 2 and 3, positive, negative, positive. Greater than equal to 0 means this and this. So x will belong from minus infinity to 2, union 3 to infinity. Infinity पे open intervals because infinity is not a number, it's a concept of a very large number. Then at 2 and 3 there is equality. Equality means closed intervals. Okay, so the next question says f of x equals 1 upon mod x minus 3. We have to find the domain of this expression. Now if I have to find the domain, as we discussed, denominator cannot be 0. Denominator should not be 0. Mod x minus 3 is not equal to 0. So mod x is not equal to 3. Mod x should not be 3. So I know that mod x becomes 3 for plus minus 3. So x should not be plus 3 or minus 3. because for these two values, mod of them is going to be 3. So I get x is all real values except minus 3 and 3. That is going to be the domain. Okay, let's proceed. You have to find the domain under root. So this has to be positive, x minus 1 greater than equal to 0. That implies x is greater than equal to 1. Now this is under root and denominator. For under root, this should be greater than equal to 0. And because of denominator, this should not be 0. Combining these two, I'll get 4 minus x is greater than 0. So I'll multiply with a negative sign, negative 1. X minus 4 should be less than 0. X is less than 4. So plotting it on the number line, it has to be greater than equal to 1. So यहाँ पे closed interval, less than 4. So it has to be open interval. So this is going to be the answer. X belongs from 1 से 4. 1 पे closed, 4 पे open. With this, we have practiced all types of domain related questions. Just go through these and you would have revised your concept for the topic of domain.